Hi there, my name is Chris Winter, the Friendly Entrepreneur. In this video, I want to share with you some things that I wish I knew before I started using Shopify. Now, this is going to be an updated version pretty much for 2019 and onwards. And these are a few tips which I would like to share with you so hopefully you don't make the same mistakes as me and hopefully you can have a really successful time using Shopify. And by the way, guys, if you want to see the top 10 best free Shopify themes, what I'm going to do is put a link in the description box below and you can check that out. I've put together a list of the most popular ones and ones that should work really well for you. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description box below. But anyway, let's get started with a few things that I wish I knew before I started using Shopify. Now, the first thing that I wish I knew before I started using Shopify is that you don't have to actually pay for your themes or your templates. Now, there are so many themes out there which cost $100, $150, $200, and they're generally no better than what you're going to be able to get for free. One of the great things about using Shopify is that they come with a lot of different themes or templates that are totally free and they're actually really quite good. And if you know just a few little steps, you can actually customize them to become really, really good themes. So what I would recommend for you to do is to check out Shopify. They've got a free section there where you can have a look at what are the most popular themes and see what's going to work well for you. Now, you don't always have to have a big hero image. It might not work for your kind of brand, but you might also want to be using a theme which works really well with like a larger catalog, or maybe you've only got like one or two products and there's going to be different themes for that. So what I would generally recommend is to take a look at all of the different themes, read some reviews. All of the Shopify themes have reviews on them, and a lot of the free themes really are quite good. So don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money on all of the themes. Okay, so the second thing about Shopify, which I wish I knew, is that you don't actually have to pay up front. Now, this is great and definitely one of the things that I like about Shopify compared to other e-commerce platforms, and that is that you really don't even need to include a credit card details when you sign up. So it's pretty much a risk-free trial. So essentially with Shopify, all you need to do is provide an email address to sign in with, and then you just create the store. So what's really good about this is that you can test different things. You can test to see, oh, is this website going to be something that's going to work or is it not? You can get other people to test it because they're allowed to log in with a password and they can pretty much see your complete website before you spend a penny. And this is a really good thing. Another really cool thing about this is that you can also do a lot of free trials with different apps. And a lot of people don't know this about Shopify, but they have a fantastic app store, which really allows you to kind of expand the ability of Shopify. You can get different apps for pop-ups, you can get email marketing apps, you can get apps for like a little bar at the top of your website, pretty much every different kind of app. And a lot of these do come with free trials. So generally, you get a 14-day free trial with Shopify. I'll put a link in the description box below if you want to check it out. But it's 14 days. Sometimes you can actually get it 30 days at the moment. I've got a 30-day free trial, which I'm using. So hopefully it's going to be 30 days for you. But a little tip is that you can always generally get a extension on your free trial if you just contact if you contact Shopify support. So yeah, don't feel like you actually have to pay straight away with Shopify. And definitely one of the biggest things that I've learned is that you need to start today. I'm probably like you, I was researching which one's better. Should I use Shopify or should I use BigCommerce? Should I use WooCommerce or should I use Squarespace or Wix? Which one's the best one? The best thing you can do is just start today. There's a reason why Shopify is the #1 e-commerce website pretty much for everyone these days. It's because it really does work quite well. Now, granted, it is maybe a little bit more expensive than something like WooCommerce, but in the end, pretty much everything works and you can just focus on getting your site built. Like I've said to so many people before, the biggest and hardest step is the first step. But once you get started, you kind of get on a bit of a roll. You can have a lot of fun getting started. So what I would highly recommend and what I kind of wish I did is do less researching on which is the best thing here and just get started and see how it works. And you'll generally find your feet once you've started. So yeah, highly recommend just jump into it now, learn it as you go, and you'll have a lot more fun. Now, the next thing I wish I knew and I wish I used a little bit more is their support. Now, one of the things about Shopify, which I really like, is that they've got 24/7 support for pretty much everyone. Now, if you're in the US, Canada, and I think Australia, you can have phone support, but pretty much everywhere else, they've got live chat, which works really, really well. So if you've ever got any kind of issues with, say your coding's not working right, your website's not working right, you don't really know how to do something, you don't know how to add something to a category, add a product, what a catalog is, what different categories and things like that are, I would highly recommend actually using Shopify support. You can even use it when you're on the free trial. And I've really found that that's probably one of the best ways to start really getting to know the whole Shopify platform. And considering it's free, you may as well use it. So don't be afraid to use their support. They've also got really good forums as well. So essentially what you can do, if you have a problem, you can just type into Google, something not working, Shopify forum, and someone's pretty much come up with that. So definitely take advantage of that. Now, I quickly touched on it before, but another thing that I really love about Shopify, and I wish I was using a little bit more earlier on, is the App Store. Now, like I said, there are so many different apps on the Shopify App Store, and they're made by fantastic developers, and they really do work well. Now, I've got a history of using WordPress, and I've found that with their plugins, they didn't work that well all the time. Some of them would work well, some of them would slow down your site a lot. I've generally found that the Shopify apps work really quite well. A few different apps that I really like. There's one called Privy, which is great for pop-ups and things like that. There's one called Recart, which is really good because that allows you to have Facebook Messenger marketing. Wheelio is really good if you want to start to gather some emails from your customers. What else do I like? I like All-in-One SEO. That's a really good one to get your SEO rankings up. And there's another one called Free Shipping Bar by Hexton. That one allows you to essentially encourage people to add more things to your cart, and then they get free shipping essentially. So what I would recommend is once you've started your trial with Shopify, go to the App Store, see what you want to, essentially what you want to do. And there's probably an app that someone's made for it, but yeah, definitely do it. And like I said, most of them have a free trial as well. So you don't even have to pay anything for these apps. You can just try them out. And if they don't work, well, you're good to go. Now, the next thing that I wish I knew though, however, is that you shouldn't install too many apps. And this is something that I think we all kind of fall prey to because we're like, oh my God, there's so many different apps that you can install on your site to do this and do that and do this and do that. You probably don't need to install 20 apps on your website for a few different reasons. Firstly, it will probably slow down your website a little bit, your Shopify store, if you do install too many apps, because there's essentially, it's pulling information from all of those apps every time the page loads. So that's one thing. Secondly, the apps kind of become a little bit less effective if you've got too many kind of apps. So pick a few different core apps and maybe have a few different things that you really want to do. So maybe you want to gather people's email address through something like Wheelio, or you really want to encourage people to get an upsell in the cart. Pick maybe 5 or 6 different apps and then kind of stick with them. And then if they're not working, then install other apps. But don't install like 20 apps at a time. It's really fun to do that, but in the end, it kind of bites you on the bum. So yeah, don't install too many apps. Another thing that I've really found is that marketing is key. Now you can get your website up and running and it'll look awesome, but if no one's coming to your website, it means nothing. I've done this myself sometimes. You spend all of this time building a website and then you end up spending all that time building the website, but then you don't end up spending time marketing it. And the real key is just to get the website that's good enough, it loads fast enough, it looks nice and safe and secure, and it gets your brand message across. But then I would also make sure that you do spend just as much time, if not more, on things like advertising, maybe Facebook, Instagram advertising, maybe making YouTube videos about your brand, really getting people to your website and driving traffic to your website so you can actually start getting some sales, because in the end, sales is the number one thing. It doesn't matter if you've got the best website in the world. If no one knows about it, it doesn't make a difference. Another thing that I would highly recommend you do is check out a website like unsplash.com or pexels.com. They have really, really good quality free royalty-free photos to use, so essentially stock photos, but they're not kind of stock photos that you would think of that you've seen in like 10 years ago where they've got like a white background and a businesswoman holding a board or something like that. They're actually really good quality photos which you can download. They're royalty-free, so you don't actually even have to credit people. It's generally good to do that, but you can find so many nice photos over there on pretty much every topic. So I definitely recommend checking out Unsplash. I use it pretty much every day to find different photos. Maybe it's like a big hero image for your website. It can be a great resource, especially if you're not that good into photography yourself. This can save a lot of time because you can get most of your photos maybe done nice and easily just by downloading them there and uploading them to your Shopify site. But yeah, definitely check out Unsplash and Pexels. Pexels also has another website called Pexels Video, and you can download free videos there as well. So they're highly recommended for me. Another tip is to start collecting your customers' emails as soon as possible and start building up your email list, because having your customers' emails is a really, really important thing to do, because it means that you can pretty much contact them at any time. Now, I think email marketing maybe 10 years ago was a bigger thing, but it's still really quite important these days, because things like social media, although it's free and kind of easy to get your message out there, there's so many people blasting their kind of message all the time. And if you can get someone's email address and you can be in their email box, you're the only person who is pretty much there at that time. So I'd highly recommend using something like Wheelio or Privy to get people's email address, maybe offer them something that they can download for free in exchange for their emails. But pretty much from day one, you want to be kind of getting your customers' email addresses so you can send them your deals, you can send them blog posts and all of this kind of thing. It's really, really important from day one. So there you go, guys. They were a few things that I wish I knew before I started Shopify. These were just a couple of tips. There's a lot more tips out there, but like I said before, the number one thing is to just get started. There are so many different reviews and things that you can look up, but in the end, there's a reason why Shopify is a great website, and I'd highly recommend using it. If you do want to check it out, the link will be in the description box below for a 14-day free trial. That is an affiliate link, so I'll get a commission if you do that, but that's always good. But yeah, I'd highly recommend it. If you've got any questions about Shopify, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and answer them for you. But yeah, just jump into it. You'll learn a lot. It might seem a little bit intimidating at first, but honestly, it's not that difficult. It's kind of a drag and drop website. So yeah, I think you'll do fantastic. And I'm also thinking about making some more Shopify videos. So if you'd like me to pretty much make any videos about anything, let me know. I'm thinking about making some reviews on Shopify, maybe some lists about things that you should do on every Shopify website. Maybe I'm also going to make some videos about like proper tutorials. So I've made a full Shopify tutorial. It goes for about an hour, but maybe I'll make some tutorials about, you know, how to upload a product, how to customize your store, maybe different apps that you should install, different things like this. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm a real big fan of Shopify, so hopefully you guys will be too. That's pretty much it for me. I'm going to make some more videos today, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.